Yes, people, what's going on? Hope you guys are all doing well. So, we've seen the news today. Reports, rumours, gossip, as we like to call them, from Sky Germany, which has been regurgitated by all the British press. And that is that Manchester United are open to offers for Marcus Rashford. And there's some talk that he's even already agreed, or a deal has already been agreed with Barcelona, which could see Marcus Rashford leave the club. And I know it's unpopular right now to say this, and I know everyone's on his back and everyone's always criticising and complaining about Marcus Rashford. And look, when he's out of form, you know, if the criticism's about his form, I'm totally fine with that. I'm not saying, you know, people can't criticise players when they're out of form or whatever, or if they're playing badly. I totally understand that, and as someone that has been doing that, you know, on camera and off camera for my whole life, I'd be a hypocrite to say you can't criticise players. That's not what I'm saying. But there's so many extra things that get said about Marcus Rashford which are just absolute nonsense, that I find a little bit daft. People going over the top, questioning his commitment to Manchester United and all these kind of different things. He's one of us, you know, and that's not a reason why you should just keep someone, but he is one of us. He's come through the academy. We pride ourselves on our academy players. And whilst the last year and a half hasn't been too great for him, even in that time, by the way, he was scoring big goals in big games that we just weren't going on to win. He was putting us in positions in games to go on and win some of those big ones, and we weren't converting it. But now, like, people just seem happy to, oh yeah, it's time, get rid of him, he's rubbish, this, that and the other. I think it's so over the top. And I know a lot of people are going to comment on this video and go, you're always defending him, you're always doing it. That's because there's a player there. There's a player there. And people go, he got 5 managers sacked, he got this many managers sacked. Check the stats, check the numbers. Whenever there's been a different manager at Manchester United, Marcus Rashford is generally the one with most goals and assists for that manager. And if it's not him, it's Bruno, but it's usually him. And I just find it remarkable that anyone will go, here's the guy getting all these managers sacked. What, when he's been one of our best players in that time? For Van Gaal, he was incredible. For Mourinho, he did well. For Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he was incredible. You know, for Erik ten Hag, he had his best ever season, scoring 30 goals. And like I said, his form over the last 12 months to 18 months hasn't been ideal. You know, we need our big players to step up. But you look at the culture of Manchester United, you look at the way things are being run, the chopping and changing of managers, the chopping and changing of styles. You know, you're going to have some symptoms of that. You know, and I also think, whilst again, we should all have our opinions and we're all welcome to them, I just find some of the criticism and the abuse that he gets, which will impact his mentality when he's playing, is just so over the top. We've seen it with Alejandro Garnacho. He's one at the moment. He comes through, he wins us the FA Youth Cup, scores some fantastic goals, scores in an FA Cup final. He's played like so much football over the last 12 months. And people are, oh, the guy's crap, get rid of him, he's useless, this, that and the other. He's a young player, and I'm not, obviously Marcus Rashford's at a different age and he should be heading towards his peak years right now. But people with Alejandro Garnacho, so quick to write people off. So quick to just get on their backs and try and hound them out of the club. I don't get it. And I think selling Marcus Rashford would be a huge mistake. And I've just read through some of the articles and they're going on about it'd be a decision which would free up money for Manchester United to spend 100% in terms of profit on the PSR. Fucking, you free up his way. Are we making decisions purely based so we can bring in another player? And if so, how many players in his position are better than Marcus Rashford? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because there's a handful. And there's talk of him going to Barcelona. Why do Barcelona want Marcus Rashford, let me ask? A Barcelona team who are doing fantastic at the moment with Hansi Flick. I know they've had a few iffy results over the last couple of weeks, but a fantastic side playing fantastic football with some really good young players. Why would they want him? And we think that would be the right decision. We've already seen Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe and all these guys. Haven't even spoken about the Dan Ashworth thing. I kind of rate that if something's going wrong, you don't just let it fester and let it go on for so long. Make the decision now. I kind of rate that. But did you not do your due diligence before you brought him in? He was on gardening leave for how long? I think he was on gardening leave for longer than he was at Manchester United. What's going on with some of these decisions? You see the decisions to cut back the money on for MUDSA, Manchester United Disabled Supporters Association. try and half their budget, cutting back on staff, cutting back on this, that and the other, no Christmas parties for staff. Like, some of these decisions are being purely made with the bottom line in mind. And from a footballing perspective, and again, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, they're going to cuss me in the comments, whatever, I don't really give a shit. This is a hill I'm willing to die on. Selling Marcus Rashford would be the wrong decision. We've already seen him under this manager back to scoring ways. The manager's been chopping and changing his team, so it's obviously hard for anyone to get, you know, a run of games in his team, and I totally appreciate that. I'm on Amorim's side with that. Marcus Rashford's getting back to form, and a Marcus Rashford in form, a Marcus Rashford happy, it means better things for Manchester United. Who are you going to replace him with? Who? You're just going to have Alejandro Garnacho there. I'm a big fan of Alejandro Garnacho's, and I think he can be the main man there. But we've already seen what playing him week in, week out is doing to him. He's fatigued, it's affecting his decision making, he's under pressure. We need to be able to bed our young players in, take our time with them. And it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if in 12 months, people are doing what they're doing to Garnacho, to Kobbie Mainoo, just shifting the targets. It seems to be kind of like the vitriol and the toxicity that you expect at the moment when things are all going wrong at Manchester United. But this would be another massively wrong decision by Ineos, by Ratcliffe, and by everyone involved. And I would definitely not support the decision to sell Marcus Rashford. I hope it's just bullshit. I hope it's just rumours and reports. It's only come from Sky Germany. How close are they to the situation? But I think it would be the totally wrong decision. And Marcus Rashford's often spoken about his commitment to United, how much he loves the club, etc. And I would love for him to use this as a little bit of fire in his belly to say, go fuck yourselves. I ain't going anywhere. You're not getting rid of me this easy. And get back to form. That's all he needs to do, to just silence these idiots. But footballers are going to go through difficult times. Again, I'm not comparing the two players. Ryan Giggs is one of the greatest players to ever play for Manchester United. And Marcus Rashford's got a long way to go to try and get to those levels and that ranking. So I'm not comparing the two. But I remember times where it's around 04, 05, people were like, maybe we should sell Ryan Giggs. It's like, what are you on about? Maybe it was a little bit earlier than that, actually. I remember him being linked with Inter Milan and Juve, and some people thought it was the right thing. Probably around the time when he missed that sitter against Arsenal in the Cup, that was followed by Fergie booting a football boot at Beckham. But I just find this whole thing baffling, to be totally honest with you. And I kind of needed to come on here and vent a little bit. I'm going to ask you to let me know what you think in the comments. I kind of can already see what some of those comments are going to be. But geez, man, it would be a howler of a decision in my opinion. Anyway, I'm AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.